My updated hair loss protocol has taken me... Shush! It's ruined the intro. Stupid washing machine. I'm gonna go again. My updated hair loss protocol that has taken me from this in my early 20s to this 4 years later as I approach unk status. By the way, thank you to everyone who's been watching me since the beginning. I love you guys, and you've literally seen my hair get better year on year. And yeah, cheers. I'm not pouring up fire, this is some great Fanta, promise. Almost drowned in the pussy, so I swam to a butt. However, since that very first video that I posted on the channel going through my hair loss protocol, it has literally changed entirely. This was what it used to look like. So I'm gonna take you through my week and break down each part of my protocol step by step scientifically. And oh, what is that? I think I can hear it coming. Sorry guys, you know I had to hit you with the disclaimer. But first and foremost, the most important factor in a hair loss prevention protocol, whether you like it or not, is a 5-alpha-reductase inhibitor. So I used to be on finasteride, started this in my early 20s at a low dose and then gradually increased the dose as I've discussed before under medical supervision, of course. Stayed on that for around 2 years, I believe. Yeah, 2 years, and then I added in dutasteride at 0.5 milligrams once a week. So, you know, dutasteride, 0.5 milligrams, 1 day of the week. The other 6 days of the week, 1 milligram of finasteride. Once I'd yeah, built up to it. You're just gonna have to ignore this freaking dishwasher. However, since then, I decided to switch entirely to dutasteride. And I did this slowly. I didn't just like, boom, 1 day switch from finasteride to dutasteride fully, because I wanted to avoid a big hair shed. And when we're comparing dutasteride to finasteride, dutasteride's half-life is much longer. It's around 5 weeks compared to finasteride, which is around 7 to 8 hours. And you know, also dutasteride can take longer to reach peak saturation in your body. And yeah, despite the research showing that it does get to work pretty quickly, I just wanted to do the switch gradually to avoid any sort of shed, because shedding sucks. Nobody wants to have chopped hair for a while. And people in the comments might be typing away currently saying, why did you switch to dutasteride, Tom? Are you just having hair greed? To those people, I say, fucking right. You know, if there's breadsticks on the table when you go out for dinner, but you know you've got your main course coming soon, are you not gonna eat the breadsticks? Like, no, I'm gonna eat the breadsticks, they're free. And what I mean by that is dutasteride outperforms finasteride when we look at most of the literature. In fact, I think it's all of the literature. And you know, in some research, finasteride is shown to reduce scalp DHT, which is the one that is most important. You know, serum DHT doesn't, you know, it's not that important when it comes to hair loss. We're mainly looking at scalp DHT because it's where our hair is, of course. But yeah, finasteride may only reduce it by around 41% at 1 milligram daily, whilst dutasteride can reduce it by like 51% and then up to over 70% when you increase the dose of dutasteride up to as far as 2.5 milligrams daily, which is like peak dutasteride dose. So yeah, if in the future I do need to titrate higher on my dutasteride dose, then that is, you know, it's an extra weapon in my arsenal if I need it. Whereas on the other hand, finasteride is shown to peak at 1 milligram, you know, no further gains if you have a higher dose than that. Another reason that I decided to switch from finasteride to dutasteride is if I pull up a picture of my family genetics, you know, pretty much every guy in my family is like Norwood 5+. My dad had the same sort of hair loss pattern as me at the same age that I was losing mine in my early 20s. Same for my uncle. And again, when we look at the research, men with bald fathers are 2.5 times more likely to experience hair loss at some point in their life. So it was not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
And I just wanted that like extra layer of protection, if you're picking up what I'm putting out from the Norwood Reaper. Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry, guys. So how has it been? Well, alongside this and my updated protocol, also personally, By the way, guys, my friend has sent me this photo from when I was 22. Like, how did I not notice I was losing my hair? I was on the road to being cooked here. A random tangent, back to the video. I'm not telling you to take it. Work alongside your doctor, not medical advice, just my personal experience. But yeah, I'm very happy, guys. I'm over the moon. And by the way, I'm on 0.5 milligrams daily at this current day. This video is probably so sporadic.
Side effects.
I did get some minor side effects, which I will go through right now. The first of which was a slight increase in libido.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Which was like for a month max, and then it just went back down to normal. And it wasn't like I was a teenager gone back to puberty, just bust. But a little noticeable increase, and then it just chilled out again. Also, my lower back hair stopped growing. Like, you know, the one that's just right below your bum crack, that just stopped. Ooh, who this? Okay, say hi.
Are you in the middle of it?
Yeah, this Kanan, guys. It's the Crody.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
What the fuck is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Guys, if you like running content, then be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications for Mr. Kanan Solomon, some premium running content. Oh, shut up.
What is that?
It's the dishwasher, but I turned it on like mid-filming the video, and then I had to open it up. When you open it up, it starts going beep. So these guys are just listening to the dishwasher every minute or so. Anyway, sorry, this is probably the most random video of all time, guys. Back to what I was saying. I don't have any before pictures of that because I wasn't just like taking snaps of my crack, obviously. So you'll just have to take my word on that one, fellas and ladies. Also, I would say that my skin is noticeably clearer. I was always pretty lucky with my skin, but yeah, even like the times when I would break out is noticeably less. And the reason for this is because DHT stimulates the sebaceous glands. And when switching, this means I'm not only lowering type 2 alpha-reductase, but also type 1, which is much more highly expressed in the skin tissue, as opposed to type 2, which is more primarily in the scalp and the prostate. And overall, I would say that my total shedding levels, so you know, just the hairs that are falling out, are definitely decreased, and I wouldn't say more noticeable than a normal human being without androgenic alopecia. So W's in the chat, guys. And yes, side effects can happen. I'm not saying that they don't. It's not what this video is for though, guys, okay? I'm making some extremely more in-depth videos on that coming soon, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
But this is the chill, techie little vid, okay?
It's a techie little step.
And here is how my hair is looking. Let me throw up a little B-roll for you guys.
Happy roll.
Looks pretty good. Good, happy, healthy, getting bitches, making beats, making millions, all the standard stuff. Almost forgot my hairline, guys. You would have never forgiven me. Here we go. Very good, very nice. This side, not quite as good as the left-hand side, but pretty good. Also, guys, by the way, if you would like to join my community, join my course, buy my course. Baby, are you down? Nah, I have also gone through like every single step of the science, everything that you need to know, broken down all in one big video format community. So if you're interested in that, it is linked in the description. You can also join my email list for free stuff. Everyone loves a freebie, so any new hair loss updates, they'll get that through your email if you want to sign up. And then like all the other links and whatever will be in the description. I'm not a big salesman, so go there if you want to. Sorry guys, I just realized how shit I've made that sound. It is actually really good. I've broken it down in great scientific detail and put a lot of effort into it, so it's good. Check it out. Also, a lot of social media commenters say that I have been feminized, turned into Tom Anther. Personally, I disagree with that. However, if I look back at pictures of me when I was 22, 23, I was so younger.
I was so younger.
Compared to now, I would say I've perhaps delayed the look of aging, and literally just because of having hair versus losing it, because that does make a massive difference. You know, losing your hair dramatically ages you. And that's not just me like chatting a little whilst, there's literal scientific evidence on it. Right, now I'm gonna bring you along to central London while I do some business and explain the next part of my protocol. I'm seeing my boy Dr. Manny Mittel, world-class hair transplant surgeon, and then trying to sort out some partnerships for his patients with local 5-star hotels so they can have premium hospitality alongside their premium new hairline. So let's go. I'm gonna do a sick transition here. Rate it from 1 to 7.3 in the comments. Surely a 7.2 at least, guys. Anyway, let's see some fancy hotels. Stay tuned. Quote of the day, Russ. Something inspirational.
Drink loads of beer, take loads of
Right, okay.
and have plenty of That's why I look so young at 58.
I don't know if this is gonna make the cut. Yo guys, so I'm currently in central London going through some luxury hotels for Dr. Manny. Currently at the Hyatt Regency. Just went to the Rosewood as well. Like proper bougie hotel. It's pretty nice. Got the sparkling water. Look at me. Pretty good. I'm not used to super expensive places like this, guys. I'm from Liverpool originally.
Heavy that lot.
This is a fancy experience. But yeah, just seeing if we can get some partnerships together, so it should be cool. I'll show you guys some of the rooms as well, if I'm able to get a tour or something. I'll give everybody. Yeah. Okay guys, so currently in the Doubletree Hilton. This is the best hack of all time. If you go up to the reception, even if you're not like staying at the hotel, I should probably gatekeep this because it's like top 10 best secrets of all time. If you ask for a cookie, they just give you a cookie, like no questions asked, and it's like one of the nicest cookies of all time. Genuinely, I'll give you the review. I'll give you the review right now. Warm, like a couple minutes out of the oven.
Yeah.
As cookies go, it's a 9. It's a 9 out of 10, actually.
They're going to be able to hear me crunching. 7.9. It's not an M&S cookie though.
Back to breaking down my current hair loss protocol 2026. One thing that I have been using is KX826. I was a little bit hesitant about this at first because I didn't want to just add in another topical treatment. Like, you know, it's a bit of a ball ache to be putting a liquid on your scalp every single day. He's laughing at me. Camera woman's just violating me. Basically, I was in Lidl the other week, guys, and the trolley just jammed. Basically, between the trolley and my leg was my ball, and the ball, like, you can imagine, it got a little bit swollen, but back to the protocol. The reason I chose to add KX826 into my routine is because the data is currently looking pretty good overall, and I think the thing that I liked the most about it is that its binding affinity to the androgen receptors in the scalp might be higher than DHT itself. If you don't know what scalp androgen receptors are, I mean, same as any androgen receptor in the body, it's like a little keyhole. Then the hormone DHT would attach to it, and then basically the Norwood Reaper just gets active and miniaturizes your hair follicles. And then essentially KX826, what it aims to do is beat DHT to the androgen receptor, you know, fit the keyhole better, win the race, and stop that process from happening. Now, we do still need some more data on this, you know, more research. It's currently in phase 3 trials, but again, one of the reasons I was happy using it is because the safety data looks very good on humans at the moment, which is a lot more than what we've got when it comes to other topical anti-androgens. For example, a lot of guys on Reddit and the depths of the forums, be using RU58841, which is not something I would recommend, guys. You know, it's only tested on like monkeys. So from my point of view, if dutasteride is reducing the DHT in my body from the inside as much as possible, then, you know, KX826 is like a cheeky bonus from the outside. But one of the reasons why I wouldn't rely solely on KX826 is because of the recent literature that came out showing that, you know, DHT doesn't only bind to the androgen receptor in the scalp, increasing TGF-beta1 and DKK1, lowering beta-catenin levels. And what that means when you translate it into English is that it's, you know, causing those hairs to be miniaturized. But DHT also attaches to the GPR133. So many letters and numbers, guys. But it attaches to the GPR133 receptor, which essentially makes the hair follicle sheath contract, and, you know, it's almost like the hair is in a 24/7 flex mode. I made a video explaining this because it's pretty complicated, so just watch that for a full explanation. But that is also going on, so it's not only the androgen receptors in your scalp, which is why I would say, you know, you probably don't want to rely solely on a topical anti-androgen like KX826. But for me, it's like a nice bonus, and that's like one of the reasons why I want to lower DHT in my body as much as possible, guys. And some of you might be saying, well, Tom, your body produces DHT for a reason. Why are you doing this? Well, your body also has a coccyx. The fuck does that do? Used to be for a tail. I don't want a tail. Do you want a tail? But yeah, no bad side effects. No side effects at all, actually. Noticed decreased shedding, less oiliness. Overall, pretty good. Only using it once a day before bed, so my hair isn't like all greasy and wet through the day. Hard to say whether that is from the KX826 itself or everything else that is in my protocol, but there's no harm in including it for me right now, so I'm happy with it. I will drop the place that I get it in the link in the description, as a lot of you guys ask about that pretty frequently. I get it from Koshine, the original source. You know, Kintor is the researchers who are creating it at the moment, and that's their company, so it's the one that I feel most comfortable getting it from. The one that I'm currently using, guys, is the 0.9% strength KX826. All of the current research has been done on the 1% strength. Now, if the phase 3 trials end up being successful, then it might actually end up being one of the first hair loss treatments, first new hair loss treatments that is approved for androgenic alopecia in over a decade, so we shall see. But yeah, this one's like an over-the-counter treatment, so it's not prescribed by your doctor. I'm able to just buy it from Koshine themselves.
I don't even know him.
Okay, guys, been pretty successful day. Made some good connections, some good business. But now it's time to try out some sushi. So, what's this called?
Wasabi.
What's it? No, the sushi itself.
Oh, salmon and avocado dragon roll.
Okay, here we go, guys. Review out of 10.
180.
It's not bad. Not as nice as the other places that we went to. No, pretty good though. Feels healthy, feels lean. I'm gonna give it a 6.2 out of 10. One of the raw fish ones. Okay. See, Amelia's having me try out some raw fish, extending my palate, guys. This is just literally rice and salmon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a good food.
Not sure I rate that, you know. I think it's too plain. That one. It's a 4. It's a 4 out of 10. I didn't want to have a palate makes it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
I think it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
7.
The kombucha test. Ooh.
Yeah, it's vile.
Really?
I fucking hate kombucha.
Ah, why'd you get it?
Sorry. Swearing.
Demonetized. Then I went to the Tower of London for the first time, and here's a cold pic of me with the Tower of London.
When you watch this back, you're gonna be like, okay, I understand.
Really? He's looking that good? Like a shelf? Like a bad beat? Get the arch. Amelia says I walk really autistically, guys. Let me know. This is just a normal walk. I'm trying to make it normal anyway. That was the normal walk, and now I'll try and walk nonchalantly. Cool. Is that good?
That was so good.
Yeah, very nonchalant. Also guys, what sort of content would you like to see from me in the near future? I've become a little bit disenchanted with the hair loss space recently. Yeah. No, I think like a lot of the negativity in that sort of space a little bit, but yeah, just let me know what sort of content you'd like to see me make. I would like to also start a new channel and do some more content that's branching out from hair loss a little bit. Yeah, no. No, just like content that's more for a wider total addressable market, you know? Fun stuff, fun videos. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see that and you would support the new channel if I started it. Okay guys, one of the trusty things that I've kept in my protocol all these years is ketoconazole shampoo. Now, I feel like this one is quite misunderstood and often marketed in the wrong way, for better or worse from different companies, but I've always kept it in my routine because I do feel like it makes a difference to my overall scalp health. Now, you'll see a lot of TikToks and different companies, things like this, marketing it as a solution to hair loss. Guys, ketoconazole shampoo is not going to stop you going bald by any means, but I think of it like a nice added bonus alongside your standard hair loss protocol, like, you know, dutasteride, finasteride, minoxidil, in whichever form. One of the reasons people say it's a solution to hair loss is because there's some very loose data that it reduces scalp DHT. Now, the research isn't like, it's not good enough to say it definitively does that, guys, but it might do a little bit, so, you know, great if it does. That's not the reason that I use it personally. I use it because it reduces, sorry, itchy nose, a little bit of hay fever recently, guys. But it reduces bad scalp bacteria, which is something that I noticed a little bit when I was peak balding. Like, my hair would get super greasy because, you know, DHT stimulates the sebaceous glands, which can lead to seborrheic dermatitis, which is where your scalp is just overproducing oil, sebum, and that kind of feeds this bad bacteria to the point where, you know, your scalp environment becomes pretty unhealthy. People get dandruff, itchiness. It's probably one of the reasons that people talk about that DHT itch when they're losing their hair. And I definitely had a little bit of this when I was, you know, early 20s, because my scalp was always just super itchy. So anyway, I used to use ketoconazole twice a week, the standard Nizoral or Dandrozol, I think was the one that I got, which was the 2% strength. You have to get a prescription for that, but it just kind of sucks, guys. Like, it really, really dries out your hair and leaves it looking pretty crap. So I ended up switching to over-the-counter one from Intelligent. I've used this for like two or 3 years now, I think. It's a lower strength, of course. It's not a 2% prescribed one, it's over the counter, but I find it a lot better. It does still leave your hair a little bit dry, but as long as you use a good conditioner afterwards, it's not too bad. I leave it on my scalp for like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and I only do it once every 2 weeks now, not twice a week. I just use a normal shampoo every other day. As in, like, I do shampoo every single day. And guys, if you've got the idea that shampooing your hair, washing your hair is a bad thing because of social media and you should, like, not wash it, just please don't do that. Like, it's not an optimal environment for your scalp, particularly if you're someone who's using topical treatments like topical minoxidil or KX826, because if you imagine a thick layer of oil, sebum on your scalp, and then you're trying to put a topical on top of that to absorb into the scalp, like, a thick layer of oil is not gonna help it absorb, so something to consider. One of the reasons why I wash my hair every single day, also so I'm not just a minger. And I feel like my hair looks pretty good, pretty healthy, pretty voluminous these days. But yeah, Intelligent, I'll show you guys, I'll give you guys a little tutorial of how I use it in the shower. Drop a like for this because I hate filming myself in the shower. It is one of the most awkward things of all time. Like, you're just butt naked in the shower and you have to position the camera there while the room's getting all steamy and you have to like throw from the waist up. Anyway, you don't want that image in your head. Intelligent, linked in the description. Where's this vlog? OnlyFans, also linked. That's a joke, there's a joke, there's a joke. But yeah, anyway, seborrheic dermatitis is something that is very commonly associated with guys going through male pattern baldness. And from what I understand from the literature, the areas of the scalp that were most sensitive to DHT, to being miniaturized because of your genetics, were also more likely to have more sebaceous gland activity, so producing too much oil in these areas. Another thing that I do think helped the seborrheic dermatitis, and again guys, mine really wasn't that bad, but I did have it for a little while. I also had it on my face slightly. I think I talked about that in the Looks Maxing video. But I do think the ketoconazole shampoo helped a decent amount with my seborrheic dermatitis, even with the low amount that I did have. Obviously, being on standard treatment as well, dutasteride in particular acts on not only type 2 5-alpha-reductase, which is what finasteride acts on, you know, the one that's most prominent in the scalp and the prostate, it also acts on type 1 and type 3. So, you know, type 1 is the one that's more found in the sebaceous glands and the skin, so potentially it's going to lower the sebaceous gland activity and also help with seborrheic dermatitis, which makes sense considering that the issue is potentially being exacerbated from the same root cause. Obviously there is other factors that can influence it. You know, for example, I also tried to change my diet a little bit for seborrheic dermatitis. I think I lowered the amount of dairy I was having, gluten, sugar. I used to have quite a lot more sugar than I have now, but you know, maybe a food intolerance test would be a good idea because there might be some evidence to suggest that, you know, your diet influences seborrheic dermatitis, so something to look into. Anyway, time for you guys to see me in the shower. It's so awkward. It's even more awkward because, like, my audience is like 97% male. Not there's anything wrong with that, but I'm gonna stop talking now. Okay, let's get this over with. So I whack on the shampoo to my scalp, get full good coverage. And guys, don't be afraid to give your scalp a good scrub. I know a lot of people are afraid of shedding hairs in the shower, but if they're due to shed, they're literally gonna shed regardless. Leave it on the scalp 8 to 10 minutes. So awkward, guys, because you literally know like there's some guy just straight going into this right now. Or maybe there just isn't. Embarrassing. Embarrassing! Also wanted to show you how my hair looks straight out of the shower. So this is like how it is. Pretty damp. I've just like, you know, given it a quick pat with the towel. Looking pretty good. Yeah, on to the next part of my routine. One question I actually get asked pretty frequently, guys, is has finasteride or dutasteride damaged my athletics performance? Now, I don't actually compete in athletics, running anymore. I used to race the 800 meters, but I still do a little bit of jogging every day and go to the gym. But let's put it to the test and run like a 400 or an 800 meters. I'm gonna head over to my old university track with my old athletics group today and yeah, see if I still got it like that. So yeah, let's go do a time trial. See you there. By the way, I have not done a proper running workout in over a year now, so whatever I run today, give me some grace.
How you messed me over on my stock t-shirts yesterday.
Oh, I didn't mess you over.
Gillbanks giving me wrong advice.
No, this guy wants to be a flipping day trader. And he's like, oh, I should have invested in SpaceX yesterday. I would have made 300 quid. Well, I
Wait, Gridwell.
You might have also lost the
Join
game.
my Telegram group.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we ran 800 meters in the end. It's been about a year since I've done a hard session, but we did just over 2 minutes. Didn't quite get under the sub 2 mark, but pretty happy with that. It makes me think, what the fuck was I doing back in the day? Because I'm locked up, won't let me go.
When I want me jocking on them, hate them, man.
Drop in the comments if I should do a race at the end of the summer, see what we can come back with. Got a little iced coffee with the Crody Kanan. What else do I need to say?
Admit to about your sexuality.
Yes, I love bad bitches. That's my fucking
That's
problem.
his fucking problem.
And I don't give a fuck. That's my fucking problem.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next part of my 2026 hair loss protocol. Such autism. That transition was like a 2 out of 10. Alright, next component of my hair loss protocol, oral minoxidil. I'm not going to go into as much detail on this as I already made a full breakdown, as well as all the safety things that I was doing to stay healthy, keep me in one piece. But I think that video was 4 months in, I'm now 9 months into oral minoxidil. And I switched from topical minoxidil to oral. One thing that's important to mention is that I did just use the topical on my hairline, not the full scalp, as this was the area that was going the quickest. Now, same with finasteride to dutasteride, I haven't just boom, switch cold turkey. I've titrated slowly and, you know, bridged that sort of gap, switching from one to the other. Again, the reason that I wanted to do this and just wean off of topical minoxidil slowly, sound like a literal drug addict, but again, it was to avoid a big shedding phase and shedding a lot of unnecessary hair that I otherwise might not have had to. And it worked. I think one reason why I didn't have such a massive shedding phase is probably because I've been on 5 alpha-reductase inhibitors since the my early 20s. And because of that, I probably do have less hairs in the resting phase of the cycle. And you know, the more hairs you have on your scalp that are in that resting phase, not actively in a growing phase, they're more likely to shed to make way for new, thicker, healthier, happy hairs. If you want a better understanding of that, go and watch this video because I broke down everything you need to know on shedding when it comes to hair loss treatments. But yeah, essentially the main purpose of oral minoxidil is to keep hairs in that anagen growth phase for longer. One question you guys might be asking is, how can I tell how many hairs I've got in the resting phase? Well, what you gotta do is just suck it up. You know, lock in, roll the dice, or heart. Basically what I'm saying is there isn't a really valid way to tell how many hairs are in the resting phase. You just gotta wait and see how much you shed, unfortunately. For me, when I first started treatment, like, I lost so much hair, guys. I could literally fill up a cup just from going, like, rubbing my hand through my hair. Like, that's how much hair I lost, and that was around the 3-month mark, roughly. Didn't shed that much for the first 2 months, but it is literally so dependent on the individual. Like, one guy could shed hardly anything and the other could shed like bucket loads, but just gotta wait and see what happens, guys. End of the day, if you're on hair loss treatments, probably gonna shed. If you're not on hair loss treatments, also probably gonna shed. The difference is, if you're not on hair loss treatments, one day it's not gonna come back.
Oh my God!
That's not me telling you to take it, but it's just the facts, the science. Facts don't have feelings. What's the next bullet point I've got written down? Now, when we actually look at the literature, look at the science, the research behind oral minoxidil, comparing it to topical minoxidil, there doesn't really seem to be that much of a benefit of using oral instead of topical in terms of how effective it is when it's been studied. But I am in the fortunate position as a hair loss niche content creator. It's such a random niche, isn't it, guys? Like, yeah, battling the reaper for mankind every day. But what that means is I get to talk to a lot of people or organizations who prescribe these treatments to thousands of men. And despite the literature, you know, the real life reporting from doctors who are actually seeing the results from these treatments on their patients through time, oral minoxidil just blows topical out the water. One of the main reasons for this is probably because around 50% of guys don't respond to topical minoxidil, and this is because minoxidil is a prodrug. So minoxidil itself doesn't stimulate hair growth, but once it interacts with the sulfotransferase enzyme, it gets converted into minoxidil sulfate, which is the active compound that stimulates hair growth. The issue is that most guys don't have enough of this enzyme, like naturally in the scalp. However, this is quite easily corrected, as I explain in this video. By simply adding in tretinoin, you can increase this enzyme activity and ultimately increase the conversion, which is why I also used to use tretinoin on my hairline. But you know, topical and then another topical, it can get a little bit of a ball ache, to be honest. And you know, if you're like staying around Shorty's house and you need to be rubbing a load of creams on your hairline at night, it's just not optimal. It's not optimal, is it, guys? That's my favorite word.
But oral minoxidil likely works better because we have an abundance, typically, of sulfotransferase enzymes in the liver. And you know, when you take a pill, first pass has to go through the liver, so it gets converted into minoxidil sulfate, which is also why it, you know, stimulates hair in the other areas of the body that grow hair, not just your scalp locally, where you would apply topical minoxidil. So, you know, not just scalp hair, might get some chest hair, some butt crack hair, some dense pubes. I literally saw a guy on Reddit, by the way, who was applying topical minoxidil to his balls, his pubic area, to see if he could extend the anagen phase and growth of them so he could use them for a hair transplant. That is commitment to the game. That would be a serious throw, some tight curls going on if that was successful. Anyway, but the fact that it has to pass through the liver, which has more sulfotransferase, is probably the reason why a lot of guys have better results with oral than they do with topical. But the trade-off is a higher risk of side effects with oral minoxidil. And to be honest, guys, with any hair loss treatment that I've considered adding into my protocol, I was by far the most scared of oral minoxidil because of the most severe side effect being pericardial effusion. And you might be thinking, what the hell is pericardial effusion? Well, it's basically a buildup of fluid on the heart. Extremely rare, and it only seems to happen in a very small population of people who probably already had an underlying issue. But it's still scary because it's your heart. Like, it's way more serious than any side effect of any other, you know, approved hair loss treatment. Yes, that includes finasteride, much more so, which is why I was very specific when, you know, approaching it from a safety aspect, and I took all of the precautions, tracked my heart, got an echo scan, most importantly, like an ultrasound of your heart. I would highly recommend this, and I explained it in the video that I'd made about the 4-month update, because, you know, it just gives you a direct answer very quickly as to whether you're having any fluid buildup on the heart. Also, guys, what did you think about the new Drake albums? What would you say are your top 3 songs from the new albums? I'm gonna say Road Trips, number 1, STFU Janice, number 2, National Treasure, number 3. But that's just for now. In 5 to 10 years, it might be different. The Drake albums really take time to marinate and mature. Anyway, I'll throw up my titration plan here. Again, not medical advice, just what I did alongside my medical professional. Built it up slowly in the system until I reached 2.5 milligrams daily, which is what I'm on currently. I have had some side effects, which I actually don't mind too much, such as my eyebrow growth has improved dramatically. Like, they are way thicker than they were a few years ago. Let me throw a picture of what they used to look like and what they look like currently. I would say that is a pretty night and day difference. Yeah, can't complain about getting some thick slugs W's in the shot. I have also had a body hair increase. I'm not like a big grizzly bear, but I have noticed a bit more hair like on my abs, my lower stomach, also my arm hair growth has increased, especially this random little patch here, like on my wrist. Some hairs have just popped up, which didn't used to be there. Facial hair grows way faster. I used to be able to shave like twice a week. Now I have to shave pretty much every day, if not every other day. I have really sensitive skin, so I try and do every other day, but anyway, you're not here to have my full shaving routine. But I don't really like this. Like, I'm not a big fan of how the facial hair looks on me. I prefer a clean shave. Also, my eyelashes. Guys, my eyelashes have been going crazy. Like, when it's a sunny day and I'm out running, I can see my eyelashes poking out from you know, my peripherals. Also, slightly in the gap between my hairline and my eyebrows, I'm getting some vellus hairs. Hopefully they don't go terminal, but yeah, I'm seeing a little bit more growth there as well. But overall, no severe side effects, so very happy about that. And the most important bit, my hair on my head, that one, it grows much faster. Like, I have to get more frequent haircuts, and my lobster's too buttery and my steak's too juicy. Somebody stop this guy. But yeah, because hairs are staying in the anagen phase for longer, this also means less shedding. So I'm seeing a lot less shedding in the shower, on my pillow, on the floor. And again, all of the treatments I'm on likely are, you know, working synergistically. It's not just one of them that is leading the charge. per se. Oral minoxidil also acts on your melanocytes, which, you know, are responsible for the pigment of your hair, the color, so it is likely darker. I do dye my hair, so it's a little bit harder to quantify that. Some of you might be saying, why are you doing that, bro? That's so zesty. Well, I actually got my first gray hair when I was 15 years old, and they've been popping up ever since, guys. So what I'm gonna do is continue to dye it because I don't want to be gray at 26 years old. But one day, when I'm completely gray all over, I'm just gonna like get a haircut, get rid of all the dyed hair, and then suddenly be a silver fox. You know, I'll suddenly just have that Targaryen look, and everyone will be like, whoa, you're so handsome and grey and Targaryen-y. I'm not gonna like shag my sister. This is what happens when I don't have a script. Yo, jeez, bro wanted to be in the vlog. What you got to say, Mr. Spider?
Haha, yes lads, a little birdie told me you can book a one-to-one consultation with Tom in the description and that. He gets like PR comments on all his social media, so it's probably easier to just talk to him one-on-one. So yeah, sick. Go book it.
Very good, I concur. Anyway, it is so much thicker, my hair thickness, like the caliber of the strands, the density too. Amazing. Also, the hairs on my hairline stick around for a lot longer. They grow longer because if you remember, back when I was earlier on in my hair loss journey, the hairs on my hairline were like really, really thin and miniaturized and pretty much colorless. And cycle after cycle, these have got thicker and grown longer and longer, and I've definitely noticed a difference since adding in oral minoxidil, which is pretty wonderful, to be honest, guys, because, you know, we only have a finite amount of anagen phases in a given hair follicle. It's roughly about 20 to 30 in a human's lifetime. So once you've burned through those 20 to 30 anagen phases, the hair kind of just stops growing, which is why you see, like, you know, for example, a guy who has perfect hair, like a Richard Gere, maybe, you know, he has a full head of hair, but he's getting on now, he's an unk. And so, for example, and again, I'm not just using him as an example, baiting out poor Richard, but someone like him will still have a great head of hair, but the overall density will be a little bit decreased because he's used up so many of those anagen phases already in his lifetime. And that's just senescent hair loss, you know, hair that inevitably goes with age. But as we know from the miniaturization process caused by DHT, the whole process of this is just speed run. You know, anagen phases getting shorter, resting and shedding phases getting longer, to the point where the hair gets shorter and shorter, growing phase decreases, hair gets lighter and lighter until the point where it's basically non-existent. You just have those little wispy hairs on the top and hair that's still healthy and grows to full length on the back and sides. Balding 101. But yeah, the hairs on my hairline are growing much longer and staying longer. And no, I have not had a hair transplant, despite what the conspiracy theorists seem to think, with me hanging around hair loss transplant surgeons being cronies with Dr. Manny. But yeah, overall, very good, very happy. W oral minoxidil.
Then look at this, guys. I met some deers and I gave them a peace offering, and then they became my friends, which is pretty cool. Some good deers. Then I got to work on editing this video. Don't know why I'm giving you updates, but you got them.
Working the way you were looking at this.
Oh. Certified banger. Certified viral.
Now, if you were going to be a rapper, what chain would you have?
I don't have like a symbol that represents my life. You get like a follicle or something like that.
Me? I'd get like the, you know, like them cool like lanyards that are green with the sunflowers.
Now, first and foremost, I don't have nits, just needed to clarify that. But was the first head louse just a regular louse in a typical louse dwelling, and then one day decided to migrate to a human scalp, and so was born the head lice civilization? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but food for thought.
Anyway, I've just realised this video is like 45 minutes long, so that is enough. This has been my updated hair loss protocol 2026. Goodbye. Subscribe, lad.